Welcome back. This is another Mom Biz Pep Talk. This one, it might ruffle some feathers and it is a little spicy, but I hate when I hear women saying that they have to ask their husband. They have to ask their husband to make a purchase. They have to ask their husband to do this. And I find that so disempowering. And what's really interesting is when my husband and I first got married, we were teenagers. And so we hadn't lived I got pregnant at 18. I had my baby at 19. And the thing is, we didn't have a lot of time to one, figure ourselves out, and two, grow up. And so at the beginning of our marriage, I remember really feeling like I was his mom. I did all of his laundry. I cooked all the meals. I took care of the house. I paid the bills. Um I made sure when he got home, like everything was in place for him and he didn't have to worry about a thing other than going to work and providing. But on the flip side of that, I then felt super guilty spending any money because shortly after we got married, the company that I was working for actually downsized. They went from like 280 employees to 80 in one day. They took a whole massive group of us into a room and they said, "Today's your last day. You can collect your paycheck and leave." And so suddenly here I was, pregnant. I was due in like 2 months. And well, yeah, 2 or 3 months before we had our first baby. And suddenly I found myself without a paycheck and my husband as a sole provider and me feeling guilty spending any money. And we would talk about every single purchase. I would ask for permission to buy a workout video. I would ask for permission to buy a shirt, to buy a pair of shoes, whatever it was. And there was a lot of guilt that came with that and a lot of stress and a life that I just really wasn't here for and didn't want to live. And if you are in this space, I just want you to know that I see you and I understand you. And maybe right now, maybe you just feel the guilt of spending money and you just think that this is the current circumstance that you are in. Because I lived in that circumstance for a very long time before I decided, you know what, it's actually okay for me to want my own financial independence. It's okay for me to want my own money. And it is okay for me to be okay with not asking my husband for permission to buy anything. Maybe a big purchase. Maybe if you're looking at a car together, maybe if you're looking at a house together, then maybe that's a different story. Like my husband and I do talk about the big purchases together simply because we're both going to live in the house and we're probably both going to drive the car. But other than that, we really don't. And even with my last car that I purchased, I picked it out. We went down and test drove it together. He came with me. He was a part of the process, but ultimately the choice was mine. And that in itself is so empowering. And if that is something that you desire, you can absolutely have that. And there is no shame around it. I feel like a lot of times, at least for the way that I was raised that the man was the provider and the woman was the nurturer. And we stayed home. We didn't want anything for ourselves. We met all of the man's needs and felt really shitty, if I'm being honest. And if you listened to one of the last Mom Biz Pep Talks, I actually talk all about my experience in the religion that I was raised in and what it taught me and what I am still learning as far as emotional freedom goes. We discuss all of that in that episode, and it's really good. So if you haven't listened to it, I would highly, highly suggest you go back and listen to it. It came out on August 4th. Go back and listen to that one. It is so good. But I'm just realizing a lot of my conditioning from my religion, from watching my parents' relationship, my mom's divorces, her being a single mom, working 3 jobs to make ends meet. I thought money was really hard to make and really hard to come by, and it was really scarce. And then what we see in movies, the rich people are villainized. They are always like the bad person or the jackass or whatever it is. And that's simply not the case. Money amplifies who you are. So if you are naturally a good person and you love doing good things and you love helping others, money is only going to give you more resources to be able to help more people and do more of what you love. And so I really want you to think about that, because for me, we were taught, well, in my home, money doesn't grow on trees. Do you think I'm made of money is something that I heard from my parents. I remember at one point my stepdad getting upset for how much my mom had spent on an outfit for me. And it was like the very first time she had ever taken me shopping. I was so excited and got home and he was so upset, and it ruined it all. And so I want you to really think about what what have you learned about money growing up? And now, what stories and beliefs are you carrying into your relationship with your partner? And if you are having to ask your husband for money and you feel guilty spending money, maybe it's time to change something. And maybe this was me in the beginning of my photography business years ago. I wasn't making a ton of money. I didn't have the overflow where I could go buy the things that I wanted. And so I was still using, quote unquote, like his money to buy things that I wanted, to buy things for the kids, to pay all of the bills, right? And so if you're in that space, it's okay. Don't judge yourself. And it is absolutely okay to want more. There is no shame around wanting more while also being happy with what you have now. Or maybe you don't love what you have now. There's no shame in wanting to change it either. And so I just want to share that with you, that if you are tired of asking him for money, like I don't think that we should have to ask our husbands for money. We're grown ass adults here, and we can do what we want to do. We can buy what we want to buy. And maybe you started your business because you want to provide a different life for your family. You want to be able to buy the things that you want to buy and not stress about money. Maybe you've been on a tight budget. I've been there too. You can do that. You can absolutely do that. I promise you, you can create a life you love with kids in tow. You can build the business that supports your dream life. And it feels so freaking good, so empowering, so uplifting to just know you get to be in charge of yourself. You get to make the money that you want to make, and you get to choose where that money goes. Remember, money is just a tool. Money is just neutral. Money has no personality, no thoughts or feelings. It's a piece of paper. Like, it just is. And we get to choose what we think about it, how we use it, where we want it to go, all of those things. And so if you are tired of asking your husband for money, or you are feeling guilt around spending the family finances on the things that you want to do, we got to let that shit go. If you don't like it, you get to change it. You do not have to rely on another person forever. You just don't have to. I thought I did. I thought, oh, like he's supposed to be the breadwinner. That's what I was taught. And it's just not the case. You both get to make your own money. So I really want you to know that. You both get to make your own money. You get to choose how you spend your money too. And money is not the root of all evil. Money is not bad. Money is not greedy. Wanting money is not greedy. There is no shame in wanting excess. You have those desires for a reason, and you have those desires because you have the ability to also create it. So get out there and freaking create it. And if you want support with this, Mom Biz Mastery is for you. Mom Biz Mastery is my program that helps you increase your income with ease. And it helps you become the mom and CEO that you need to be in your life and business so that you can increase your income with more ease, so that you can create a life you love with kids in tow. This is a program that walks you through how to shift yourself on an identity level to believe you can have more, to believe within yourself that it's not shameful or greedy or any of that to want more. We start to shift your stories around what you want out of your life and how to make it happen. How to make it happen, who you need to become. I teach you the breathwork method. We go through all of that because when you now combine feeling what you need to feel and visualizing the experience that you want to have in life, the results that you want to create in your business, you then get to start to step into that person and embody the next version of you so that you start showing up as her now. And that is what I teach. That is the whole thing in Mom Biz Mastery. We get your business growing. We increase your income. It is freaking amazing. I would love to see you in there. So if this sounds like something for you, I will drop it in the show notes below. You can go check it out. You can see what's included. But if you are ready to stop asking your husband for permission to buy things, if you are ready to stop feeling guilt around spending money, your husband's money, right? That was my issue. I was like, well, he's the one that's like going out and earning all of this and working so hard for it. And I was like discrediting all the hard work I was doing at home for him as well. But I had a lot of shame around it. And if you have the shame and you have the guilt, this program is for you. We're going to shift it at an identity level, and we are going to help you increase your income with ease. Create that business that supports your dream life with kids in tow. So come join us. It's in the show notes. Cannot wait to see you there. And I will talk to you next time.